We're rolling.
So is FDR.
Damn it. Really? You wanna bring that up?
Hello, and welcome to today's roundtable. I'm Turd Ferguson with Mike Hunt and Bend Over. Today's roundtable discussion, we're going to be discussing the upcoming election. First question, who will handle the poverty levels better, Hoover or Roosevelt? Discuss.
Well, I think it's pretty clear who's going to handle these poverty levels better. We can't really expect for this new president, FDR, to come in and run this country effectively to get us out of this depression when he can't even walk. But that is besides the point. Really, what we're dealing with here is Hoover, who's been the president for 4 years. He has experience and connections in the White House that FDR does not have. He has his contacts that he's been communicating with over the last 4 years, and especially over the last 3 years, dealing with this crisis that erupted in 1929. And although there hasn't been a tremendous amount of progress, we can't expect that there would be a tremendous amount of progress. This government is not made to function that way, and he has been trying his very hardest to get us out of this economic collapse. FDR, if he came into the office, would be thrown into this situation where he has had no prior experience, where this is a humongous collapse of the economy. Everybody can see that. We see people forced out of their homes, forced out of their jobs. It's turmoil. We agree with that. But we do not think that another president should come in at this point and try to solve the problems when he's not suited to do so.
I'm glad you can agree that we're in a major economic downfall right now, and part of that reason is because of your man.
Who's his man?
Hoover. Hoover
That is his name.
has created this economic downfall that really needs to be changed by Roosevelt's idea of this New Deal. Not only this, but you mentioned something about connections, and having connections is a major thing. And although FDR will be coming into the office without any major connections such as Hoover has made, this doesn't necessarily mean that the connections Hoover has made are good. That doesn't mean that Hoover is solid with all these people and that he can actually connect with them and that he can get some things done, such as hiring people in the House of Representatives that can actually help him and stuff like that. Another thing you said is that
That
Hoover...
doesn't happen.
Another thing that you said that Hoover has he's tried his hardest to fix our economy.
Yes.
I would like to hear some examples of how he has tried his hardest to fix our economy.
All right. He's put a number of initiatives in place in order to deal with the collapsed economy. As president, though, it is very hard to deal with issues that were not, and I'll say this here, were not brought about by him. It is a false claim by the other party to say that this president has caused the economic downfall. And, yeah.
I would like to correct myself. I didn't mean House of Representatives earlier. I actually meant that they can hire chief justices and things like that. So
You are forgiven. I forgive you.
thanks, sir.
If you have a hard time walking and getting around in your house, you need a Hover-Round power chair. I'm Tom Cruise, inventor of the Hover-Round. I'm a nurse by profession, so I know how important it is to your well-being to have a power chair that gives you independence and freedom. The freedom to get around and enjoy life again. You'll be able to go to the mall, play with the grandkids, visit friends and family.
Okay, second question. What can FDR do that Hoover has not been able to do?
First off, I would like to point out that throughout Hoover's presidency, I haven't really seen any change or any actions implemented to help our economy. In fact, because of these reasonings, Hoover believes that by leaving our economy alone, that it will fix itself in some odd way. Think about that. So FDR has this new plan called the New Deal. By enacting this New Deal, we will be able to have a better economy, increase everything, such as jobs in the workforce. Families will be better. The common man will be able to live his normal life again. Go ahead.
But how do you plan on doing? What is the New Deal going to bring to the table? I haven't heard anything specifically that it's going to do to help with these problems.
Those are specifically enclosed to Mr. FDR himself. And for those reasons, our New Deal will do much more than any of your efforts, which I don't even believe there were any.
All right, but to be fair, what are some possibilities that you could bring to the table? Are you going to start spending federal money, taxpayer money on new programs? Are you going to create socialist programs in America to deal with these problems? There's not a whole lot the government can do without drastically changing the very fundamental structure that it was founded upon.
Bringing up socialism, that's a big thing. I necessarily agree that socialism is completely not something that should be suited in America, and that we
I
completely
didn't say
need to
that.
fight across.
I didn't say that.
So that's the
Yeah,
point
down with the commies.
Whoa.
I'm sorry. I don't know what
Where
got
did that
into
come
me.
from?
I have no idea.
But basically, anyways, FDR, this New Deal, will basically enact so much that it will basically change.
He
the
says
world.
that, but what can he really tell us about this? He's giving us promises, but isn't that what every president does when they're trying to get reelected?
And what promises did your man that you're representing make?
For this one, he's going to keep trying his very best to uphold the foundations of the American government while also supporting and standing up for the American people, which FDR cannot do. He cannot stand up for the American people.
You're basing so much upon my Canada's polio issues.
No,
is completely unacceptable.
That
First off, I would like to.
that was never my intention.
I would like to base that. Although Hoover
Good
has
job standing up for your men, by the way.
Although Hoover has implemented so many great ideas, not even anything actually.
Wait, did you just say Hoover?
Yeah, because Hoover, he's just amazing, isn't he?
I mean, he's a
Hoover
little better
has
than
done so
FDR.
much. No, he has not. Hoover hasn't
All right,
done jack squat in the first place.
All right.
And by saying that you're going to implement some new ideas and work your hardest to improve our economy, what ways are you going to do that? Because you have the ideology that basically leaving the economy alone by itself will be able to fix itself.
You're gonna need to calm down because I don't think my cunt can handle it. Okay. Right now.
Hey man, you need to stop.
All right.
Jokes, right?
Okay. Shh. We've had great discussions about economic and political topics, but now let's get into social life of today. Let's talk about Hoovervilles. Discuss.
Whoa.
Hoovervilles. Hoovervilles are basically shacks and little areas made in New York, for instance, is one of the areas that's majorly impacted, where people have basically became into poverty. They have no place to live, and in turn, they're living in Central Park, areas such as that, because they can't afford to pay their rent or anything like that. So in turn, they're making houses out of cardboard, all those sorts of basically garbage materials in order to sustain living.
Yeah, of course. This is a terrible situation that we have in the United States today. However, is it really fair to be naming these Hoovervilles? Obviously, people are going to be unhappy with the president, during which his presidency, the economy completely collapsed. Yes, that's obvious. But is it really fair that we're naming these after him? Is it really his fault? No, it's not.
Your president has done no actions to
George
improve this
Bush. If you don't.
Your president has done no actions in order to
I'm calling him a
improve
dog.
our economy at all. And how is that not? How are you not able to blame somebody and call?
Because our government is not a monarchy. This is not the king.
Okay.
This is a government run by the people, for the people, and there are hundreds of different people in this government who all have a part in what's going down. And it's not even just the government that caused this collapse. After World War I, there were huge economic disadvantages for the entire world. We faced a war which was unprecedented, and afterwards we went into what we called the Roaring '20s, where we were extravagantly using and expanding just like possessions and consumerism, and it just collapsed on itself. It's not something that Hoover specifically did. Maybe he could have done more, and he realizes that. He's working on that. He is in the middle of making this nation a more successful and bringing us out of this depression, but he can't do that if we stop him right in the middle of what he's doing and start all over with a brand new president.
You're starting 4 years in. 4
Yes.
years after the fact, when you're
Three.
going into your re-election. 3 years after, okay?
Yeah.
Same thing. You're behind. Right now, Roosevelt, a fresh president, although he does not have the connections, he has great ideas that actually are ready to improve the economy as soon as he steps foot in the office.
I mean, yeah,
What ideas
I
does
have
Roosevelt
been kind
have?
of impressed by FDR's ability
That's great.
to run
I'm
a
glad
campaign.
you are impressed.
I know I'm impressed by his ability to run a campaign, but
Well, I'm pretty sure FDR would be able to roll up and I'm pretty sure FDR would be able to roll up and improve this economy.
roll up.
Roll up and just show everything he has.
All right, we're getting too much into things.
You need to stop talking about his polio,
things.
okay?
Seriously,
I
bro.
need you to stop making jokes about his
I
polio.
believe that was him.
You cannot.
No, you're the one talking about
Stand up.
rolling
Are you
up.
serious?
This is not about making people feel bad for either president. Yes, they've both faced very hard things.
You didn't say the pleasure joke.
Hello, sir. Who do you think is going to win the presidential election? Hoover or Roosevelt? Better suited to handle the current catastrophe in America. Yeah.
All right, we got to come up with the last thing.